Yeah, so if they have any creature here, they win. If not, I guess we have another shot. No creature? No creature? No! Okay, wait. This is still a chance. This is still a chance. Oh my goodness. Dude, this game. They're untapping. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and this week is a budget week. I'm trying to build decks that are going to be a little bit easier for people to jump into Core Set 2021 with. At the same time though, I'm building this as a semi-budget Selesnya deck because there are a lot of cards in this that are rares like Pel Collector that have been around for a year, and there's a lot of people that have been playing for quite a while and have probably built up at least a few copies of this. And so I'm wanting to build it a budget version. I'm wanting to make it so there's not too many rares in here, and on MTG Arena the commodity is your mythics and your rare wild cards, everything like that. Typically uncommons aren't too bad, but I played free to play and you do end up losing some uncommons as well. So I wanted to build this deck in a way that would actually work well for as many people as possible, but at the same time being really good. And so you do have to bring rares in sometimes to do that. I did put in like one-ofs of the cards that are good replacements for the rares that you may not have, and so you can build more of those and they would work just fine. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into this deck a little bit, but I just want to let you know that this is a budget version deck. I do have my non-budget lands. Again, if you have non-budget lands and if you've been able to build up that, you know, all those cards, and by the way, if you are looking to where to spend your wild cards and everything like that, it's usually in lands. If you're wanting to play a lot of different decks, improving your land base is a really good way to go. That doesn't mean you have to have all 4 copies of everything, but having like 3 copies of the pain lands are really helpful to be able to play multicolored decks. Dual colored you can get away without having good lands. 3 color and beyond, it's really hard to play without that. So anyway, Core Set 2021, we got us some really good cards for the Selesnya tokens deck. First off, Conclave Mentor, 2 mana cost, 1 green, 1 white, Centaur Cleric, another cleric by the way. I love that clerics are getting a lot of love. I've done a few cleric tribal decks in the past. You're definitely going to see another one probably, because I mean, we get a lot of clerics. I have to do something, but all right. If 1 or more +1/+1 encounters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 encounters are put on that creature instead. So whatever it does, you gain life equal to its power. So there's some pretty cool things you can do with this. So first off, the reason why Pel Collector is into this deck, I know it's a rare, I know that makes it a little bit less budget, but it is one of the cards that works so well with this. So Pel Collector comes down on turn 1. On turn 2, we bring down Conclave Mentor. Pel Collector gets a counter for having something with higher toughness come onto the battlefield. It gets that +1, and so it actually goes up to a 3/3 on turn 2, and you get to swing in with it. So that is just the most aggressive play that you can get. There's not many decks out there that can go turn 1 Pel Collector, turn 2, you know, swinging in for something with 3 on turn 2, and still having a massive board and a lot of good synergy going on. And so the rest of the deck is kind of just built around this synergy of Conclave Mentor being busted, wanting to put a lot of counters onto things, and then we have Proliferate in the deck as well. So if we don't find Conclave Mentor, we can just kind of go wide with counter stuff, proliferate, get bigger, do awesome things. And awesome things are awesome, obviously. The one big downside with this deck is I didn't put in a lot of like card draw. There are some card draw, some new things you can bring in. Dude, I love this as well. You can take this down and bring it back up. It's so nice. All right, they finally brought that in. Track Down is another one of those cards that just barely came into the new set. It's great for like finding your Conclave Mentor. And if you're looking for something to make it a little bit more synergistic, if you don't have a few wild cards like Knight of Autumn or something like that, this is another card that you could bring in for the budget option to make it a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier to be consistent. It also helps with your land base. So if you do have, you know, you need to find another planes to be able to play like your 1 copy of Razi's Cret, whatever, that kind of stuff. That Track Down is another good card in here for sure. Again, I like the version that I've built here. I'm not worried about drawing cards as much as just trying to smash face and win, you know. And so I know drawing cards is nice, but we get so much value out of this deck. And so that's the one kind of main game plan we can go with. The other card from Core Set 2021 is Wildwood Scourge. X and a green, Hydra. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, so you can dump a ton of mana into this, just like Stonequill Serpent. But this, whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put onto another non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter onto a Wildwood Scourge. So if you play a X5 Stonecoil Serpent, you're only getting one counter onto the Scourge, but that one extra counter with a Conclave Mentor or whatever else can end up growing it pretty quick. And if you have a bunch of creatures and you have like Gird for Battle, whatever, and putting it onto it, there's some pretty sweet stuff you can do where you can just grow this really big, really quick, and swing in. And the only issue is that we don't really have a ton of like trample in this deck. There's a lot of cards to be able to fit into all this type of stuff. We're like, okay, we're gonna plan on always having a big creature. We're gonna plan on always doing this, so we should have, we should be having trample or a way to give trample into the deck. Yeah, but we also are just going wide. And so that's the other game plan with this, is that with Basriket, this is another this is a mythic card, so if you're definitely in the budget area, this is a harder one to build. I would say build into like Pollen Bright Druid or the track downs for this slot here. But if you can, Basriket works really well with this deck because it puts +1 counters onto stuff, it gives it indestructible for the turn, and we can just go wide, which is really nice for our Gird for Battle and everything else like that. There is the Basri's Solidarity as well, which puts counters onto each creature you control, or Unbreakable formation. This is a rare. This is definitely the one that is the best one to be bringing into the deck. We'll go ahead and add in the Basri's Solidarity and drop one Knight of Autumn just to kind of showcase that as well into this deck. There we go. But yeah, so Basriket works really well as well because the -2 ability, whenever one or more non-token creatures attack this turn, create that many 1/1 white soldier creatures tokens that are tapped and attacking. So you can just go really wide with this. You can do some pretty sweet stuff with it, and being able to just, you know, hit it for a bunch of damage is really useful. I do think there's kind of an interesting game plan. You could go for like Conclave Mentor, Heliod, and any card that lets you gain life as things enter the battlefield. You can have so many triggers, put so many counters onto things. So there's a lot of different synergies we can go with this. Again, I like where this is at right now though. Jing Yengu, another uncommon Planeswalker version that we can still bring into this. It puts counters onto Planeswalkers you control. With Proliferate, we can do it multiple times, and it ramps you up like crazy. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has add 1 mana of any color. So if we are just wanting to dump a ton of mana into a Stonecoil Serpent, or just being able to play a bunch of things on one turn, we can go pretty aggressive with Jing Yengu. I think it's a perfect one of. You can maybe bring 2 of into it if you're looking for a more budget option, but I just like it here. Basri's Lieutenant, just another really good card from Core Set 2021. This is one that I think deserves a slot into this deck because you're putting +1/+1 counters onto so many things. There's occasionally going to be a board wipe that just really destroys you. Basri's Lieutenant is the perfect answer for that, where it comes down on turn 4, which hopefully you're on the play. Like, that is the downside. Like, being on the play is so much more valuable with this, because if they do just board wipe on turn 4, you're in trouble, you know. But if you are on the play, you get this down before the board wipe, then whenever a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance, and that is typically enough to be able to finish out the game. It's really powerful, and they do stack. So if you have both of these out into the battlefield, you get some good stuff. So if you have multiple of these, I'd say 3 copies is about right. It's a little bit expensive to be trying to go for 4 copies necessarily in this deck, because they're still trying to go for the early game interaction plays and stuff, but it's a really good card. So anyway, that's the deck. This is kind of the semi-budget version. Again, there's a lot of different ways you can build a more budget version. The deck list will be down below, so you can grab it and snag it and throw it, import it into Arena on the YouTube video. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, so I am recording this live, so I'm going to be talking to people as well. Man, we got all of the +1/+1 counter stuff, nothing else. We got a mulligan. It's not a good enough hand. There we go. We have the 1/2 punch. Hopefully they keep this. I think we drop the Yengu. This can be really powerful with Conclave Mentor. We have no guarantee that we're actually getting to this. This would guarantee it a little bit more. We could maybe... Nah, okay, we'll drop the Yengu. It's just such a fun card. We have a few other 1-drops we can run into, so I'm tempted just to play the Temple of Plenty first. We could also run into an untapped white land, so then we have the Pelt Collector into Conclave Mentor and have a sweet early game. All right, up against Cycling. Yo. I want to go for Temple of Plenty. All right, Ozolith off the top means that Pelt Collector, Ozolith turn the next turn. Hopefully we can find another one drop, so like double Pelt Collector into something like this would be amazing. Cycle's gonna start swinging in. You got two of the Snooper Goblins. Dude, yeah, the Goblin Snoop is looking like a busted card as well. So yeah, hello everyone in chat. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad that we're able to hop on here today. Have all of the funds. The Ozolith. That's another card I didn't really talk about. The Ozolith is one of those cards that is definitely not necessary. It's just so fun. It's a good card from Mycoria. It does let us have, you know, another answer for board wipes. So we have the Azorius Lieutenant, and then we also have the Ozolith that kind of, you know, if all of our stuff dies, we get to put a bunch of counters onto something and swing in. I kind of wish there was a way that we could have a hasty creature. Maybe it is something like Questing Beast in this deck as well. Wouldn't be bad. Just to be able to throw counters onto it and have a good attacker that's hard to deal with. Wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, down to 13. Yeah, I think we're starting off a little bit too late with this deck. We'll go Conclave Mentor. 2 counters there. No attacks, pass the turn. Yeah, the tap land was really painful there. It's hard because the mana base, they gave us more stinking scry lands with this set. Like, that is my biggest complaint, is that they could have given us so many other things. There's so many other decks that would love to have a little bit faster lands, but no. All right, no blocks. We're pretty close to dead. Just 7 scries. Zenith Flare is pretty close to killing us here too. And we're probably gonna shock ourselves. Yay, hey, hey. All right. 2 counters onto here. We might be able to block the Flourishing Fox. One cool thing that we can do is double block it. If anything dies, it's probably Azorius Lieutenant, but that's kind of fine. We get stuff onto the Ozolith later. So no attacks past the turn. Being able to create all the knights is nice. We need to find ways to put counters onto everything though. Our Gird for Battles and other stuff is nice. Yeah, another Stinger. I think they just swing all in. Well, we can block effectively right now. No, we can't. They have this guy. All right, double block. They kill Azorius Lieutenant. We get another. I would have loved to wait for the Huatli's Raptor, like Conclave Mentor into the Raptor there could have been sweet. Maybe we should have just slowed it down a bit. All right, so Conclave Mentor first. Next, counters here. It has Vigilance, so we're gonna go ahead and swing in here. They're probably just gonna chump block. I mean, we're so close to dead anyway, but this is a way that we can at least be doing some stuff. And then we'll go Huatli's Raptor. Make those guys a little bit bigger. Very unlikely that we have a chance of surviving here. To any other cyclers. Yeah, we're dead. Good game. Maybe we're not? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. All right, yeah, they had a really good start. We had a pretty slow beginning. And sometimes in best of one, that's just how it goes. By the way, I am playing not in ranked with this because I found that in ranked that especially when a new set comes out, people are still playing all the old decks because they still are good for ranking. You know, that's the deck that they've been able to build. I'm wanting to play here because there's just a lot of the newer stuff coming out, and so it just makes it more fun. Keep this hand. This is not bad. I really like Conclave into Jing Yingu. It's hard to actually get counters onto the... Ooh, all right. Well, we got the perfect start. This is actually like Utimus Maximus. There's no counters. You know you don't want to counter my things. No quench. Yes. Now no brazen borrower. That's a good start, Rotlar. All right, Fairy Vandal. Oh man, all right. So I also built another budget deck that we'll be playing later on in the stream, where it's all the draw 2 stuff is gonna be good. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the Scourge into Gird for Battle. So X1. All right, so yeah, we X1 counter, but Conclave brings in 2 counters onto it. Gird for Battle here and here. Make them massive. Make this massive. It gets 2 counters for every one that goes onto it, so it's gonna become a 6/6. You know, not too big for 1 turn of doing basically nothing. All right, so they could double block on the Mentor. Really, that's interesting. All right, this is equal to the number of flyers that are on the battlefield, right? So we actually get to kill everything by killing these guys first. So we're fine with that. Because these guys die, this goes back down to, oh, it's a 2/2 naturally. Oh, it's whenever other stuff enters into the battlefield. That's still fine. I'd rather kill 2 creatures and have less blockers right now. So we can keep attacking aggressively if I make this bigger. So Knight of Autumn could be nice, but I think that we go Jing Yangu. Turn this into a 6/6, this into an 8/8, and then swing. Yeah, that's not a bad play. Just swinging for lethal. Oh man. Yeah, mutate does exist. It's very true. Mutate's a fun effect. Yeah, Flyers is one of those decks that is gonna get you. You know, it will get you at some point, no matter what. All right, swings at Yangu. That's not leaving up a blocker though. Do they have the board wipes in this deck? Elite Guard Mage. That's fine. And another blocker. All right. Chump blocking like crazy. We need to find some more stuff. This is part of the issue of not having more card draw in the deck. I'm just making the Wildwood Scourge a little bit bigger, forcing the blocks here. Swing in. I mean, now we have a lot of big threats. Okay, down to 6 past the turn. And this is an issue with the deck, not having consistent trample or whatever. I'm wondering what other good cards would be able to be brought in for that. I mean, Pelt Collector is the trampler. They can get really big and awesome really quick. Imperial Eagle. Dude, this can be so good. This guy can swing in for so much damage very quick. And making everything cheaper too. Watcher of the Spheres is good. Good. Alright, so they can let Knight of Autumn through. How close are we to dying? I don't think we're very close. Alright, so X5. Swing in. It is a Hydra, so it doesn't count with the Wildwood Scourge. Double blocking. Okay, we will kill the Eagle. For sure. Yeah, they gain 2. This guy casts Sovereign. Do they have a land to start creating blockers? They have a tapped land, okay. Yeah, counters onto these guys again. I mean, our stuff is big. They have to block everything, right? Like, they can't win past that. If they had an untapped land, maybe they could keep creating blockers each turn to slow us down and stuff, but... And that's the issue, is if a deck's not playing board wipes, even just spot removal and stuff is not really enough to beat that. Like, this is the new Stompy beatdown deck, and it is beautiful. I love it. Dance Commander, bring it on. Interesting hand. If we find a 1 or 2 drop creature, we have 2 draws to do it. It could be nice. Having the Ozolith, having Gird for Battle. Just waiting till Night of Autumn is meh. Like, this is my rules. 3 drops on the play, okay to keep. Like, if you only have 3 drops. 3 drops on the draw, not typically worthwhile. This is much better. Yep. Yep. If we can find Conclave Mentor, ask and ye shall receive. Magic's easy. Just draw what you want, right? I'll still oh. Really? Persistent Petitioners? That's what we're playing? Nice. Alright, Bosriket is sweet here though. Swing in. Down to 17. Yeah, they're not wanting to block with these guys because they're hoping to get to 4 copies of them. But we'll see. Dude, yeah, I have all the lucks. Ooh, the Ozolith. Going wide before Bosriket does make some sense. Putting a counter onto this right now does make some sense as well. Either way, we're gonna shock that in, right? So let's go Ozolith and X1. Unsummon would be brutal here. They can double block on the Mentor, so swing with Pel Collector. Yeah, so I think it's just Bosriket on the next turn to pump up the Conclave Mentor. This gets bigger too. Then we have 3 people swinging in for a bunch. Watley's Raptor would have been good too. That's fine. All right, they're getting closer. All right, Bosriket. We can also go wide with this, but I think that we wait until the next turn to do that. So pump up here. They can triple block the Pelt Collector, but that lets in 8 points of damage. All right, opponent scoops it up. Seth Bling. Seth Bling. That's just a fun thing to say. I'm sorry. That's just cool. Yeah, keep this. I mean, double Conclave Mentor with Gird for Battle seems busted with Ozolith on board. Hey, Flying Cows, am I okay with trying your deck? Yeah, I'm always fine trying decks. I do kind of have a game plan for today right now. So if you want to send it to me, the Facebook is usually like the easiest way for me to see it. I have the Discord as well. Here, the command should be there. And putting it onto that on the Discord should be good too. I believe that's still up to date. All right, please no shock. Don't shock me. Don't be a rude person. Dude, rude people are rude. Shocks it in. And you just know they have removal or something, but our best play is the Conclave Mentor, so we're gonna go for the best play and hope for the best. Then we're gonna cry. Salty shockers. Yeah, seriously. Or seriously. Stone Cold Serpent could potentially get away from some removal. Kind of doubt it. Alright, so this is... Alright, see you, Flying Cows. Have a good one. There's a lot of new decks. I'm wondering if this is like the Draw 2 deck, or if this is just Wilderness Reclamation. Wilderness Reclamation is still going to be one of the best decks out there for sure. Oh man, I love for... Hey, something's going to hit the battlefield. You know what would be nice to hit though? Lands. You know that to have the Ozolith is kind of nice here, because even if this dies, Ozolith grows, Huatli's Raptor can grow the Ozolith and then get counters onto itself. So like we have a better play there. Oh no. Oh, that's so bad. Oh no. You know what, we can kind of get around this. So pay 2. We need to get it away from just being able to be pinged like crazy. And so, Gird for battle. Yep, definitely targeting Niv-Mizzet there. They get to draw a card. I'm going to stick in this game. We've probably been out of the game for a while. Not hitting any lands for however long was bad. But, yeah. I'm just a sucker for trying. You give it the good old college try every time. Getting our toughness as far away from Niv-Mizzet is kind of the goal. I'm really surprised they're not just going face. They ought to start trying to race here. We finally got a board state, and I feel like for them it would be better. So they get to draw 2 more cards. 1, 2, something else. 1, 2. Wait, what? Oh, do they have like a flame sweep? Yeah, all right. Now is a okay time to concede. We out of there. Yeah, that was a good play by him. Dude, Niv-Mizzet, once it goes uncontested, so good. This is definitely keepable. Ooh, and the Pelt Collector. Ooh. Let's see, what's the best way to go here? It's probably Huatli's Raptor. I mean, we get to make it into a 3-3 again, right? And then we have Gird for battle with Scourge to be able to pump everything else. So yeah, that one triggers first. Submit, swing in for 3. That's not a bad play at all. Next turn, Wildwood Scourge, put a counter onto it. Gird for battle, put 2 counters here. This one grows up a ton. Becomes a big boy. I don't like waiting for responses. It always scares me. Alright, counter, counter. This gets trample now. This goes up to 3. Dude, this deck, I love it. Thrill of possibility. All right, has a gate. What's up, Rebus Ray? Are you? Oh, Storm's Wrath. Azorius Lieutenant, you came a moment too late. So I could get out the Ozlith in preparation for another one, but Azorius Lieutenant's also pretty good here. Grab Plains. So I can go Ozlith, 2 counters onto this. Azorius Lieutenant, put a counter onto this. This grows. I think that it's better just to go for the Lieutenant. Again, this is the issue of not being on the play, is turn 4 there's board wipes. If we were on the play, Azorius Lieutenant would have come out, everything had counters, no issues at all. They're going to try to bounce the Azorius Lieutenant and realize, oh no, it has protection from multicolored. It's the perfect answer to Teferi. Oh, drats. That's the worst.
Might be a bad idea.
All right, Ozlith. I think they actually just go Stone Cold Serpent here. The protection from multicolored is big, and another counter creature. So in case of board wipe, we bring them down to 4. If they do board wipe, we have 4 power on the battlefield. Yeah, we got him. Sweet. The protection from multicolored is legit. It doesn't dodge the Storm's Wrath, doesn't dodge like a lot of things, but dodging Teferi, I'll take it. Not too shabby. Up against Mr. Grumbler. The double Bosri is not amazing. Wildwood Scourge also not like amazing here. This is definitely a mulligan hand or a keepable hand. What do you guys think? We're on the play. I'd like to have like a better play here. I'm gonna go ahead and try a mulligan for something better. We'll keep this. Yeah, keep this. We'll drop the... I think it's the Gird for battle here. Yeah. Temple of Plenty, pass the turn. There we go. Conclave Mentor, View to Miss, pass the turn. Yeah, this should be a pretty good start now. Ooh, uh-oh. Black Sack. It's not good. That just sounds bad. I'm sorry. That's Mono-Black Sacrifice. Rakdos Sacrifice. There we go. That's way better to say. Curse you. All right, Castle Ardenvale, Wildwood Scourge on X1. X1 here. We'll swing in. They'll let it through. Down to 18, pass the turn. You literally just joined it. That's the first thing you hear. Sorry, Carlos. Oh, man. Only lands of +1. I do have the one Idyllic Grange in here, one copy of it, so that I can occasionally get counters out of just land drops. I feel like going into more than one copy is really hard to do. That is a good budget option though. Instead of like Castle Ardenvale or whatever, if you don't have the rare lands for this semi-budget version of this deck, oh, rude. Nice. Why would that take so long to figure out? That is clearly the best thing you could do. I guess maybe Conclave Mentor might be better. No blocks. Huh, now what? I don't know how, unless we have removal in our opening hand. In this deck, we didn't put in a lot of removal because we're trying to focus more on Jink. I just don't think that we can actually beat Priest of Forgotten Gods on turn 2 with this deck. So we might just go ahead and leave this game. I'm going to wait for one more draw to see if we find like Azorius Lieutenant wouldn't be too bad. We could end up cycling through stuff enough. That's not bad either. Okay, Conclave Mentor. X1. Still though, I don't think that we really have a shot. We were just prolonging the agony. No attacks. Take 2, 3, 4, 5. If they have another come the firstborn, we're losing all of our creatures. We'd have to block something. Yeah, I think this game's just over. There's no way back from that right now. Boo, hiss, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Priest of Forgotten Gods is still one of those cards that, like, I don't think it's quite ban worthy, but it's, they put way too much text on it. Way too much text. Justice, thanks so much for the tier 1 subscription. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Or a lady and a scholar. Sorry, I keep mixing that up. Sometimes you're a great person, you. Glorious human being. Oh man, and enjoy your emotes. We actually got enough subs to over the last like 2-3 days. We got so many subs here, which was awesome. Yeah, keep this. We get counter onto Pelt Collector into other stuff, so I like it. Anyway, what I was trying to say. Oh, we got a lot of subs, so I'm getting new emotes coming soon. Soonish. All right, they're probably going to block here, but we're going to go ahead and be swinging through. I'm actually not as terrified of a 5/5 flyer with our deck because if they don't answer our board, we're going to be able to deal with their stuff just fine. Scourge could be pretty nice here. I can go 3 on the Stonecoil Serpent and pump up Pelt Collector again, swing in with a big swing here. It doesn't pump up this Scourge, but I guess that's not the plan. And we have Tramplers here right now. And like with Gird for Battle, other counterspell type things or +1 counters things, Tramplers are better right now. So we doing it. Swing in for the 5. Blacklance Paragon. All right. The lifelink is the only annoying part here. Call the Death Dweller, bring it back. Yeah. Rude. Yep, that's big. All right, the Azorius. Does this have Menace or just the Death Touch? Yeah, they should have put both Death Touch and Menace onto this. I can bring this out as a 1/1, not shock myself. Hope to find some other good pieces. And that gives us a good blocker for the Blacklance Paragon, at least to slow the game down. And then if we do bring out Knight of Autumn, it starts putting more counters onto this. We can start growing our board and hopefully get to a point where we can swing in aggressively. So no attacks, pass the turn. You got Discontinuity and a booster. Oh man, Discontinuity is one of those cards that's so great. Man, Priest of Forgotten Gods, curse you. There's a higher chance that we can play this with something else later, so we're gonna go ahead and put out Knight of Autumn now. Gaining life is tempting, but counters onto it. No attacks past the turn. Oh, I don't have Pride Malkin. I totally forgot about Pride Malkin. We probably at least want like 2 copies of Pride Malkin in the deck to be able to give everything with +1/+1 counters gets trample. I kind of forgot about that card. Sacrifice a creature. Let's go ahead and sacrifice, I guess, the thing with the most counters on it. Because I can just replace those onto something else. The tramplers are nice to have, though. Yeah, this is just a bad matchup for us, especially when we don't have trample. Priest of Forgotten Gods is so good. We do have reach. So yeah, so there we go. Pelt Collector, Conclave Mentor, counters onto the Stonecoil Serpent. We get reach onto it. Now we can block up here. But we can't beat Priest of Forgotten Gods. Not unless we wait for a turn or two here. So another deck I'm really excited to try out, and honestly that might be one of the next budget decks we do, is Carrion Grub with the 12/12 2-mana cycler to put it into the graveyard, give something trample. Sounds really fun as well. Carrion Grub is the 4-mana thing that gets other things bigger. I think it's Night of Autumn that we drop here. Pelt Collector can get trample as well. So Night of Autumn. I'm hoping that they forget that we have reach. They kind of saw it last time. Yeah, Whisper Squad is a good card for them here. Being able to keep bodies on the battlefield is like our biggest issue. Illidrites. Another Priest of Forgotten Gods. Yay. We're in trouble. Well, that's bad. They only have one, they have 2 Death Touchers. We lose 2 creatures. Yeah, this is probably a good game. I do get to swing in for a massive swing here. I can swing in for probably like 19 points of damage, even through the blockers, if I do this right. Counters onto the Stonecoil Serpent, I guess. So yeah, we have 19 to swing in with right now, 2 Death Touchers, but if I swing in here and this dies, we can put the counters onto the Pelt Collector, or maybe the Stonecoil Serpent after the fact, swing in for more. So swing here, swing here. The issue is if things die, we lose more things to Priest of Forgotten Gods. I would love for this to die, though. I guess we can sack it to the Priest of Forgotten Gods as well, right? And hit him with 16 extra counters. So actually, we say no attacks here. This is interesting. We actually, I think we have a shot. So we sack Wildwood Scourge. It puts 16 counters onto the Ozolith. We get to put 16 counters onto one of our guys. And then go crazy. Serrated Scorpion. The life gain's annoying. The issue here too is our life total coming lower. So sacrifice the Scourge. 16 counters onto the Ozolith. And Pelt Collector gets bigger. How much can they just swing in with too? Dude, this is intense. This is pretty close. What else do they have in hand? They get another draw. They sack Whisper Squad. Honestly, they might want to sack the Lurrus here to be able to have more things to attack in with. Sacks the 5/5. We sack well, he's Raptor. Dude, I think we actually are going to have a shot here. Their life total is going to be 30. We get to hit in for 16. No! Okay, wait. They don't have a way of killing it right now, do they? They gain 2 more life. Dude, this is actually insane. Ram through as removal, yeah. We don't have enough trample things. That's the main reason why Stone Cold Serpent is in this deck as well, in this semi-budget deck, is that we need things with trample like that as well. Sure, why not? We'll play it. 1, 2, 3. Put it onto Stone Cold Serpent. Take action. I mean, if this doesn't win, we're dead on the next turn anyway, so I think that they might just have enough. I don't know. They have to block 9 damage and gain with the 9 life gain as well. I think it's pretty close. It's like really close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 3, 8. Yeah, so they're gonna go down to 1 or 2. Yeah, go to 2, gain 3 life, go to 1. Oh, it's so good though. Good game. Yeah, so if they have any creature here, they win. If not, I guess we have another shot. No creature? No creature? No! Okay, wait. This is still a chance. This is still a chance. Oh my goodness. Dude, this game. They're untapping. We're going to combat. We're putting a ton of stuff onto Conclave Mentor. Take action. Yeah, uh-huh. And attack in. Did we get there? Oh, Blacklight's Paragon. All right, so they've got to block both. They do gain some life. And we have a creature to back it up. And we gain life equal to its power. So 41 life. I forgot about that part side of it. Dude, oh my gosh. This game is so insane. I mean, now we're definitely, we should win, right? Put it all there. 41 counters. Yes! Oh my gosh, that was the bestest thing in the world. I totally forgot about the extra part of text with Conclave Mentor with the life gain. We probably could have utilized that earlier. And it might have been smarter, but we went on the risky plan. It worked so well. Yeah, totally 100% calculated. I had that planned out from the beginning, the whole time. I knew what was going on. Anyway, so here we have it again with the semi-budget Selesnya deck. Again, I was trying to keep it where we're not having too many wild cards in the new stuff. This is Bozri's Lieutenant, Bozri Ket. We didn't really even see Bozri Ket that much in this. And I mean, someone scooped because it came down so that it shows its power there. But really, I was trying to have this deck be all around, you know, having wild cards from older sets and having different options that you could go for with this if you're wanting to build a more budget version of this. But overall, the deck is awesome. It's really cool. There's definitely, you guys saw in the chat, there was a lot of different things that I missed or different things that could be coming into this deck. Pride Malkin is one of them. And this would actually make it an even cheaper deck. It's a common card, 3 mana, puts counters onto something as it enters the battlefield, and anything with plus a counter has trample on it. There's just a bunch of other things. We talked about some of these things during the intro as well. So if you guys are looking at finding a good deck, this is a deck that is at least tier 2, I would say, especially if you fine tune it and make it a little bit better. So even on a budget option, you can find this deck, you can get it, and it's going to be big enough and it's fast enough too. I like that you're able to kind of win games pretty quick with it. I think that because you're going so big, mid-range tends to beat mono red type of stuff. This has a really early big board, you know, and so that's really hard for mono red to kill with damage dealing, all that kind of stuff. And then you just have to hope to race for the Embercleave. Anyway, so like overall, I like this deck. I think it's really, really powerful. We got to see how awesome that was, how resilient we were with the Ozolith. I've never seen the Ozolith do that much work, and that was so fun. So anyway, yeah, that's it for the YouTube video. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. The awkward exit because I'm live on stream. I don't want you guys to leave because of it, but I'm still recording YouTube video. Awkward.